Football season is another day closer. I'm Glenn Johnson, and in this report, we give you a peek inside the Perryville Pirates training camp. Head coach Mike Wojcik is entering his third year as the head coach at Perryville, and he's in his second stint coaching with the Pirates.
When I first came back, I was coaching these kids on the JV team, so I've been with them for 4 years now. So, as they came up through the program, I came up through the program, and, it's kind of exciting when you get to see a group of kids that you actually started with.
And in getting to know these seniors the past 4 years, he's anxious to see them perform well on the field.
This will be my 20th season coaching football, and this is one of the finest groups I've ever coached. These kids work hard, excellent character, great. They got great parents. What more could a football coach ask for as far as the work ethic and the character of these kids.
Despite winning a district title in 2004, Perryville has now gone 14 straight seasons without a winning record. That long of a stretch without success has caused interest in the program to plummet. That was until Wojcik took over.
I hate to say this, but it's really the truth. A few years ago, it really wasn't cool to be a football player. Things kind of went south, and it was kind of in a downward spiral, and we feel like we've thrown on the brakes a little bit now, and we're starting to climb out of that. And the kids now feel like, and they believe that they can win. And, when you get over that hump, you're definitely headed in the right direction.
In 3 short years, Wojcik has done a tremendous job getting people excited about Perryville football again and getting new kids out for the team. The next step is putting a product on the field that wins consistently. Senior lineman Wade Young says this team is getting there.
It's going pretty good. We're making a lot of progress. I think we're going to have a pretty good season. Everybody's working together real nice, and we're just all coming along real good.
And something that's helped the Pirates improve their game over the past 2 years has been their participation in the Sykeston Contact Camp. Wojcik says even though Sykeston roughed them up pretty good earlier this summer, they played better as the camp wore on.
In our second scrimmage, we played against Charleston, and we got things lined out, and we watched Johnny Pruitt. I was talking about him getting faster. We watched him take a toss sweep pitch and go on about a 55-yard gallop and outrun 4 or 5 of those kids from Charleston. So, a year ago, 2 years ago, we would have never been able to do that.
And Pruitt is a senior leader on this team. The Pirates are excited about what he'll do this year. He's really worked hard on getting even faster for his senior campaign.
I'm more of a speed runner. I'd much prefer to bounce it outside, but if I have to, I'll bust it up the middle.
He should get a lot of opportunities with Perryville being a power run team under Wojcik. And while the offensive line isn't all that big this year, Wojcik says that's not necessarily a bad thing.
One of the other things that is going to help us be a little bit more successful this year is the fact that we're going to be quicker up front. I know that I was listening to some of the other guys talk a while ago, and they were talking about how big they think we're going to be. Really, we're not. We're not that big up front compared to what we've been in the past. But the one thing that we are going to be is quicker, which will enable us to, work with our trap game a little bit, work with some counters and things like that. We're able to pull and get some down blocks and things like that. So, I think that coupled with the couple of kids that we've got in the backfield this year, I think you're really going to see a difference with our running game.
Wojcik is fortunate to have a nice stable of runners at his disposal this year, with Cody Crawford also returning to the backfield as a senior.
We got a little bit of a battle going on at fullback. Right now we're working Cody at fullback and tailback. He's really not a fullback type, but with him at fullback, it allows us to do some other things that you wouldn't do with your traditional fullback. And we got a couple sophomores that are battling out right now that could, one of those kids could possibly end up winning out at the fullback position, which is okay with me. That just means that I can split time with Johnny and Cody evenly at tailback.
Now, usually when the Pirates are on offense, the most passing you'll see is when the referee tosses the ball to the umpire to spot it. This year, though, Wojcik says his talented group of backs may open things up a bit.
You know how I am when it comes to the pass, but yeah, I think that I think we'll be able to throw the ball a little more this year. We've got a couple of kids out that hadn't played before or hadn't played since they were in middle school. One of which is Trevor Green. He plays on the basketball team a little bit, and he's on the baseball team, and he's a good athlete, and he's going to help us out. And we got Ethan Ferris back, who started for us as a freshman last year, and Alex Plunkett, who will be a senior. he was our All-State punter last year. He's been catching some balls for us, and we've been able to throw our backs out of the backfield. One of the bright spots is the off season that we had this year. The kids really got after it and they really worked hard, and we had a lot of kids get bigger, faster, stronger, and one of which was Johnny Pruitt and the other was Cody Crawford. So we're expecting some big things out of those two kids.
And Crawford's looking forward to being more involved in the passing game.
Oh yeah, we've all been getting ready for it, catching passes. We got the speed now. And we got some new formations in, so we're ready to throw the ball around.
Now, the quarterback who will be distributing the ball to all these weapons is junior Tyler Holligan, who starts his second season as the signal caller.
He started last year as a sophomore. He went through some growing pains last year, and he came in and for a sophomore that really hadn't played a lot of quarterback up until that point. He did the best that we could ask him to do. And he's got a year older and he's got a year stronger, and we're expecting some big things out of him. He's still developing, and we're gonna be patient and just see what happens.
Pruitt thinks that extra year of seasoning will do his quarterback good.
I think he'll do a lot better. He'll be more mature and he'll be ready.
Defensively, the Pirates gave up 34 points per game last year, though those numbers were skewed by a 71-7 playoff loss to Sykes in Week 10. Still, it's an area that needs to get better. Cody Crawford will be starting at outside linebacker.
We're building. We got some new young guys in, but we're getting them there. Everybody's learning their position. We're flying to the ball. We got a pretty quick defense, so I think we'll be pretty sound this year.
Senior Dylan Vernon is confident that he and his fellow defensive linemen will be quite a load this year for opposing offensive lines.
Oh, yeah, I feel like weight room. We hit the weight room pretty hard this winter, so we got to see what we got in summertime now.
Most importantly, though, this group of seniors just wants to see this streak of losing seasons end before they go out.
I just want a winning season. I want to see our team build together, and we as seniors want to lay a good foundation for the rest of the years to come.
And, of course, laying a good foundation begins with setting a good example in practice, just like Wade Young does.
I do set an example, and I do want my other seniors to set an example and show it how to be to the younger classmen.
And Dylan Vernon says there are different ways to be a leader.
You got to get vocal with them sometimes to get in their head and tell them what to do and stuff, but otherwise, example works pretty good.
So the million-dollar question for Coach Wojcik, does this year's team have what it takes to end a 14-year drought?
Well, barring injury, obviously we're not as deep as what we would like to be, but if we stay healthy and we do the things that we're supposed to do, we feel like that we got a pretty good shot of being pretty successful this year. I told my wife when I left for camp Monday morning, I said, man, this feels like I feel like a kid on Christmas morning. You're just ripping and raring to go, and the passion's there, and I just can't wait for the real thing to start.
Perryville's football season starts on Friday, August 30th at East Prairie, a team they beat 41-0 a year ago. Reporting from the Perryville Pirate Football Training Camp, I'm Glenn Johnson.